Coronation Street fans, you're not ready for this. Welcome to your #1 source for exclusive spoilers, shocking twists, and daily updates from Weatherfield. Sam Blakeman is seriously floundering with his internal health in the fate of exposing Megan Walsh's secret in Coronation Street. The teenager came the first person to work out that Megan was in an unhappy relationship with pupil Will Driscoll. After Megan made a comment about Daniel Osborne leaving a sports top at the flat she participated with Leanne Battersby, Sam realized it actually belonged to Will. Sam came determined to prove Megan was abusing Will, but set up it decreasingly delicate due to both of them working hard to keep the secret hidden. While manipulating Will, Megan also began to target Sam and attack his tone, regard. She minced down at his confidence and made him believe that indeed if he did tell someone about what she's doing with Will, no bone would suppose he was telling the truth. As he came consumed with solicitude over what Megan was doing, Sam started to feel withdrawn from his favored bones. Leanne picked up on this, but didn't discover the extent of Sam's struggles until he reached an extremity point and was rushed to sanitarium. After Sam collapsed, Leanne learnt about Megan abusing Will, and how the academy schoolteacher was hanging him into keeping quiet. In the fate of Megan's secret getting exposed, Sam has tried to move forward, but he's floundering with the fact the Driscoll family's world has been turned upside down. Someone who has also added to Sam's anxieties is Hope Stape. After a discussion with Daniel, Sam was left upset when Hope inferred that Daniel was still with Megan, and was trying to be nice to him just to get information that he can latterly tell his gal. The fact that Megan hid in plain sight has left Sam deeply upset about just who he can trust. In moments occasion, his determination to cover himself from any trouble saw him defy Will about his apparent crusade of intimidation. Will was with Liam Connor at the time, and pretended that he didn't know what Sam was on about. When he returned to the cantina, latterly in the autumn, Will streamlined Eva Price and Maggie Driscoll and stated Sam was making the commentary for no good reason. Curious, Eva headed to the cantina to speak with Leanne, Nick Tilsley and Toya Battersby. They were each on Sam's side, commonly, and suggested to Eva that she keeps Will down from Sam for a while. Outdoors, Sam headed through the road with some chips. In the corner of his eye, he descried Will, who progressed to chase after him. Overwhelmed and panicked, Sam tripped over. Nick dipped him up and walked home with him, but when Sam glanced over his shoulder, he was troubled to realize no bone was there. Will Sam tell anyone about these fancies? Or are effects only going to get worse? Sam Blakeman's internal health is beginning to suffer in Coronation Street, after weeks of blackmail from vile groomer Megan Walsh and her victim Will Driscoll. The two engaged in secret relationship, and would putatively stop at nothing to help Sam from discovering what he knew. He has desperately tried to find substantiation that would support his claims, indeed planting a retired camera in her flat, but was knocked back as vicious Megan hovered to expose him as a witness. In the fate, he has came hooked on ADHD drug to manage his stress situations, and collapsed in the street. Former Mammy Leanne Battersby could see that it was further than pooch. The weight of GCSE examinations that were taking its risk on the teenager, and made it her charge to find out the verity. Sam admitted everything, and the Driscoll family headed to the police station to report Megan. Unfortunately, inadequate substantiation meant that she could not be charged with the crime. Before this week, Will's step-mom Eva Price asked him to apologize to Sam for what he would put him through, explaining that he was witnessing Confronting to try and forget about the fire. While the teens sounded to put effects to one side, important to the relief of Eva and Leanne, Will latterly repudiated his statement and told Sam he demanded to be careful. As observers know, he is still intimately meeting up with Megan and is deeply in love with her. In moments occasion, Will was taking a perambulation with new mate Liam Connor when they banged into Sam. Liam, understandably, had a lot of questions about his friend's relationship with their PE schoolteacher. Will tried to shut down his questions, and when Sam asserted that he was not going to allow presently bullying, he pretended that he'd no idea what he was talking about. He also headed home and told Eva that Sam was criminating him of intimidation. Wanting to clear his name, Eva charged over to the Viaduct Bistro to tell Leanne that Sam was making the situation a lot worse for himself. Nick Tilsley, Sam's pater, eavesdropped the altercation between the sisters and advised Eva to keep Will down from Sam, as it was clear he wouldn't lie about such a thing. That night, after grabbing some chips from For Your Feasts Only, Sam spotted Will across the road. He began to follow him, and when Sam took his eyes off the road in front, he tripped over a cobble and was transferred flying. Nick contended over to check he was okay, but with Will nowhere to be seen, Sam was forced to snappily cover. How far will Will go to shut Sam down? Coronation Street's Sam Blakeman might have done the right thing by exposing Megan Walsh's terrible grooming, but his honesty has come at a particular cost. After eventually putting an end to Megan's dread tactics, the teenager is now being bullied by Will Driscoll. How will he manage with the pressure? In Sunday's occasion, Eva Price asked her stepson Will to apologize to Sam for his part in Megan's bullying. With Sam in counseling following the fire, it was clear that he was still floundering with his internal health. Will tracked Sam down at the bistro and said sorry in front of a relieved Leanne and Toya Battersby. Still, he latterly called Sam to repudiate his reason, telling him to watch his reverse. Tonight's occasion sees Sam defying Will over his vicious warning, averring he is not spooked of him. But with Liam Connor present, Will pretends he does not know what Sam is talking about. Back at home, Will tells Eva that Sam was criminating him of intimidation, and an unimpressed Maggie urges her to have a word with her sisters. Eva heads over to the bistro to defend her stepson. Will said Sam's criminating him of making nasty phone calls. Hanging him. Why would he say that? Inquires Eva, before Leanne insists that Sam no way lies. When Eva claims Will does not lie moreover, Leanne points out that he has been lying to for months about his relationship with Megan. The two cinch cornucopias to defend their boys, and Nick tells Eva to keep Will down from his son. Latterly, as Sam heads out of the chippy, he believes he sees an angry Will staying for him around the corner. He tries to run down but passages and falls onto the ground, with Nick fortunately hard to help. Sam tells his pater that he just tripped, but worriedly looks around the empty road, paranoid that Will is still lurking. How far will go to legislate his vengeance? Sarah shares her enterprises for Todd with Christina and Summer. Gary orders Theo to pick up the rest of his tools and makes it clear he no way wants to see him again. On Gary's advice, Sarah meets up with Danielle in the bistro and asks her if Theo was ever violent towards her. What will she say? Todd's shocked to see them with Danielle whilst Theo's incandescent. Theo returns home and, pulling Todd in for a kiss, tells him that his contract has come through and they are moving to Belfast on Monday. Todd forces a smile. Meanwhile, over lunch at the hostel, Debbie tells Carl that she's considering cotillion assignments. Carl pulls her to her bases and teaches her the waltz. Ronnie watches as Debbie laughs and smiles. On the road, Carl spells out to Summer that if she wants to know who killed Billy, she needs to stop pointing the cutlet at him and look near to home. Elsewhere, when Roy reveals that Mal's been in touch to say he is moving back to Inverness, Gemma explains to Bernie how Jody left a series of bad reviews on Mal's website. That is why he is leaving and she should be pleased. Nick processes Sam to the cafe and reveals that he has arranged for him to play chess with Roy. Also moment, when an estate agent arrives, a pessimistic George ushers them outside.